for the eyes we get some more magic ring practice. So again, making sure your yarn's to the right, meet the loop. Hook in, hold the base of the loop, pull that working yarn up and just pull it through itself to lock it into position. I'm using sparkly wire because I fancy having sparkly owl. I love owls, they're one of my favourite things. So again, we're going to pop that over there. All we need to do per owl eye is 8 HGC into that ring. Job's a good one. So, like we did when we very first started, you've got 3 loops on your hook. 3, that's 1, 2, oops. If you do use sparkly yarn, you will find that it splits a lot easier than your normal one, so you might have to just keep taking bits and bobs out. But don't panic, it's easy done. So that's 2, 3, oh for goodness sake, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And you're going to pull it tight and slip stitch into that top stitch you first started with. So that's 1 eyeball. You're going to fasten this off now so you can pull it through. Snip it off. Pull it tight. And what I tend to do is fold it across itself and then tie the 2 bits together, because you will find that the eye keeps opening, so maybe just tug the original piece of yarn back. Just give that a little pull, not too tight otherwise it distorts the shape. But you've got that out of the way then, and we can weave that in a second. Just give it a little tug to make sure it's the shape you want it. That's going to be eye number 1. So we'll just go through that again quickly. If I can find my yarn, it's decided to run off. So, magic loop. Pull up that working yarn holding the base of the circle. Pull that through, pull your tail end. And again, tail end over there. And 8 HDC into your loop. That's 1, 2, split again, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's 8. A little bit tighter, make sure you've slip stitched to close it off. Put it together. I'm going to move in your ends again in a second. Again, oops, it's alive. Tighten off your ends. Tie them both together again. Okay. That's eye number 2 made, nearly. It's a reasonable size. Now I'm just going to snip off my tails, but not too close to the knot so they don't unravel. We're going to fold those in when we start sewing them on. Okay, just bear with me, I will grab some needle and thread. Just average cotton and needle, it will be absolutely fine for this bit. We're going to sew some buttons on now. So I've decided to use little glossy pink buttons, and I'm going to double over my thread just to make life a bit simpler. This is where your creativity can come in a little bit. You can do whatever you fancy. Depends if you can use black buttons, I just didn't have any. And besides, I'm a bit OCD about colours, I like them to all match nicely. So I'm going to start from the back, and I need to decide where my eye is going to go. Now bear in mind you want to fold in those little tails. One eye is going to go about there, I believe. I might just put a stitch in just to hold it where I want it. Check that they're going to be in about the right place. There's that. And find my button. You can do this bit however you like. Okay, eye number 1. And again, make sure you're hiding those tails in. And place eye number 2. And just to balance this one, I'm just going to stitch across the middle because that's done quite alright. Little eyes. Just gonna sew that in a little couple of stitches on the back just to fasten off my thread. And then you're going to take a thicker darning needle and some yellow. If you fold it around your needle like that, pull it tight, flatten it, squidge it between your two fingers. Usually it's a little easier to get it through your needle, she says. Depends on your needle, obviously. So probably just tie a little knot in the end just to make sure it doesn't go astray. Just going to do the beak and the feet in the yellow now. So I might just catch a tiny bit of the white just to make sure it pulls it into place. And I'm going to go into the middle hole there to make sure it looks cool. So I think I'll go in there. Into the middle hole again. And right through the centre. You might want to do this 2 or 3 times just in case. It depends how tight you pull it. If you pull it too tight, the beak won't stand out very much. Might just do it once or twice more. It's not a very strong puller. In fact, my very last one I'm going to put through the back there, and I might just bring it below, right in the centre, just below there, just to give him a nice owly appearance. And again I'm just going to sew in at the back a little. Be careful not to let it show on the front of your work, that's the main thing. So, here's your beak, the last bit, little feet. So I'm going to put them just in between the two things, I think. So again, tie a little knot in the end to help you. I'll probably leave these quite loose because they're going to want to look nice and tidy. Put 3 in, I think. Right, just gonna very, very gently tie these off. If you want to weave these ends in, that's entirely up to you, depends on how they finish at the back you want. I'm not too fussed really, so right, it's made. And we have our little owl. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I've enjoyed making him, he's dead cute. So if you've got any questions, ask. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do. Thanks ever so much for watching. Bye now.